be implemented immediately, and the size of the reductions will be increased to a maximum of 20%. The government will also double the amount of emergency funding to the tourism industry, which has been hit directly by the virus outbreak. For the performing arts industry, the government will support the production cost and the admission fee of cancelled performances. The government is also loosening the currency forward positions limits imposed on banks to help companies get hold of foreign currency more easily. From Thursday, the limit for foreign currency forward positions that local banks can hold will be expanded from 40% to 50%. The limit for the foreign banks will be increased from 200 to 250%. Meanwhile, South Korea's ruling Democratic Party, the government, and the Blue House met at the National Assembly on Wednesday and vowed to do everything they can to minimize the economic impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. Saying the economic fallout of the virus could be worse than the damage of the financial crisis and the MERS outbreak combined, the three sides discussed the possibility of a second supplementary budget and ways to enhance international cooperation on managing the pandemic. Kim Jae-hee, Arirang News.
South Korea reported 93 new coronavirus cases as of Wednesday. Earlier today, 88 cases were reported from nursing homes in Daegu. Cases were found at 5 nursing hospitals in the city, with more than 70 of the cases occurring in a cluster infection at one nursing hospital for seniors. The total number of confirmed cases in the country is now over 8,400. South Korea saw 5 more coronavirus deaths on Tuesday, bringing the death toll to at least 86. South Korea's National Assembly has passed a multi-billion-dollar extra budget bill aimed at coping with the coronavirus outbreak. After a marathon debate over the total amount, rival party lawmakers on Tuesday night approved the government's initial proposal of $9.4 billion. While the total remains the same as the government's initial proposal, lawmakers agreed to redistribute some $2.4 billion from areas indirectly related to COVID-19 and use them to further support areas desperate for aid. Of the redistributed funds, nearly $840 million will be added to the budget for the hardest hit Daegu and Gyeongsangbuk-do areas. The remaining amount will be added to the budget to support the self-employed and small business owners. The Seoul metropolitan government, meanwhile, will inject over $264 million from its budget to help those who are suffering financially amid the COVID-19 outbreak. The city government will provide up to $400 of financial aid to nearly 1.2 million low-income households. Those who are eligible can choose to receive the funds in the form of prepaid cards or coupons that can be used locally. Seoul City will receive applications from March 30th at district community centres. Turning elsewhere now, and the White House is seeking a huge $1 trillion stimulus package to help the U.S. battle the economic impact caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The country's finance chief says such measures include getting emergency funds to the American people immediately and deferring tax payments. Our Kim Yo-sun reports.
Amid the rapid spread of the coronavirus within the United States, the Trump administration is eyeing a $1 trillion COVID-19 stimulus package. During a White House press briefing Tuesday on the administration's latest efforts to combat the virus, President Trump stressed it's going to be big and bold. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said the aid package could amount to at least $1 trillion, and they have already presented it to Senate Republicans. President Trump again emphasized that the U.S. can claim victory over the virus.
We will win. We will win. And when that victory takes place, our economy is going to go through the roof. It is so pent up. It is so built up. It is so ready to go in an upward direction. But we have to knock out this enemy. This is a really tough enemy, but we have to knock out all of us. That's all of us.
U.S. Secretary of Treasury Steven Mnuchin also explained that emergency funds will be given to Americans soon.
We're looking at sending checks to Americans immediately. And what we've heard from hardworking Americans, many companies have now shut down, whether it's bars or restaurants. Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
He also added the IRS is deferring $300 billion in tax payments by 90 days, penalty-free. In an effort to minimize the financial pain inflicted by COVID-19, the Federal Reserve decided to ensure liquidity in the financial market by reintroducing the so-called commercial paper funding facility. The Fed says it will begin buying commercial paper directly from banks and large corporations to pump money into the real economy. The program was first established in the fall of 2008 at the height of the global financial crisis. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
U.S. Forces Korea Commander General Robert Abrams has praised South Korea's response to the COVID-19 outbreak. In a tweet on Monday, he said Korea's CDC has been great to work with as it is open, transparent, collaborative and extremely helpful. The commander also praised the health authorities for what he called their tireless efforts. During a press briefing last Friday, he said the authorities have been great teammates. Among the USFK-related population, 9 have tested positive for COVID-19 so far, with no new cases since March 10th. Now, following clusters of COVID-19 infections at a hospital in Seongnam, Gyeonggi-do province earlier this month, one of the hospital's directors has been confirmed with COVID-19. Lee Young-tang, who has been overseeing Bundang Jesaeng Hospital's coronavirus containment efforts, tested positive earlier today. It's been found he attended a meeting at the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure Headquarters last Friday. Therefore, a number of government officials who were at the meeting are reported to be in self-isolation. The hospital is one of the institutions that the government designated as a public security hospital, where patients with breathing difficulties are separated to prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, it shut down after a number of its medical staff were infected a couple of weeks ago. So far, 29 people from the hospital have been infected. Now, the outbreak of COVID-19 has forced arts establishments and concert halls to temporarily close down. Yet, to help provide people with entertainment and instill joy during these globally depressing times, some theatres will be offering online streaming services for certain performances. Kim Bo-kyung tells us more.
In order to help prevent COVID-19 from spreading further, arts establishments are canceling concerts and performances. Among them is Seoul Donamun Traditional Theater, closed until April 30th. While most of the theater's performances have been called off, some will be streamed online.
Out of 60 performances originally scheduled from February to April, 8 are scheduled to be online. It could be quite a burden for theaters to put performances online due to additional fees such as shooting or transmitting. But they're necessary because artists need to make a living.
Korea National University of Arts has also canceled all scheduled performances. Yet students decided to make a 10-minute video of their shows and uploaded them onto YouTube and Naver TV. With many theater performances canceled, these online performances give theater lovers a chance to still enjoy the shows, which helps them stay positive in these difficult times. The performers say they are glad to be able to give viewers the chance to put their COVID-19 concerns aside.
Due to COVID-19, people could feel depressed because they can't go outside. We hope our performances can deliver hope to them.
It is said that there isn't an audience, given that performers of Korean traditional arts enjoy themselves much more when there's a response. Yet we hope our online shows can send energy to people.
But this is not just happening in South Korea. The Metropolitan Opera in New York has decided to cancel all performances until the end of March due to COVID-19. During the closure, it is offering opera lovers a chance to enjoy streaming services of encore presentations from the award-winning Live in HD series. Berliner Philharmoniker in Germany has also shut down and won't reopen until April 19th. People can enjoy over 600 orchestral concerts if logged into the digital concert hall ticket page with the code provided on the website, free of charge for 30 days. Kim Bo-kyung, Arirang News.
The World Health Organization is advising the public not to take ibuprofen for coronavirus symptoms without consulting a doctor. The WHO says its health experts are still looking into possible negative effects of taking anti-inflammatory drugs to treat COVID-19 symptoms. This comes after French Health Minister Olivier Véran warned that such drugs could worsen the effects of the coronavirus. The Lancet Medical Journal has also hypothesized that an enzyme boosted by anti-inflammatory drugs could worsen COVID-19 infections. The UK's National Health Service had advised self-isolating people with the virus to take ibuprofen, but has now rolled back on that advice. Now, the new reality of the COVID-19 pandemic is closing down factories in Europe as the continent struggles to contain the outbreak. The world's biggest car maker, Volkswagen, says it's preparing to shut most of its European production lines over uncertainty about demand for cars and supply lines. That includes its plants in Spain, Portugal, Slovakia, as well as those in Italy that make Lamborghinis as well as Ducati motorbikes. However, the company said its Chinese operations, the company's cash cow, was coming back online as the number of newly added COVID-19 cases there have fallen. Daimler Group will suspend the majority of its production in Europe as well as work in selected administrative departments for the next 2 weeks. Ford will temporarily stop vehicle and engine production at its European factories indefinitely. Okay, that is all the news that we have for you at this hour. Join us again at 5 p.m. for more Arirang news. Until then, goodbye.